And today we're going to talk about underswap Frisk, or SAUS Frisk. Now this Frisk is basically the other version of Chara, but Frisk version, as we expect. But there are subtle differences that tear them apart, which explain the story by itself. And later I came up with a theory that completely separates her from this Chara. Now please don't comment about how this is wrong or anything. This is my theory. Okay, so let's start the theory. Now in the video, The Truth Behind Tara, link in the description. This is not owned by me. It was implied that, with strong evidence, that that Undertale Tara was abused on the surface and went into the hole in order to commit suicide. But luckily, she didn't, and instead the hole ported her to the monster realm, where she soon met her future adopted family and her future sibling, Azrael. Now, the difference between this Frisk and Undertale Frisk is, of course, but there's something that I'm not here to talk about. Since this would be more relatively of Kara. So I had to talk about, in order to talk about Frisk, I had to talk about US Chara, which is super different in personality-wise. She seems to be a happy-go-lucky kid, always having no conscience and being just a kid. Like normal Frisk, she seems to be pretty conscious and stubborn sometimes. Now, this doesn't mean she doesn't have a conscience, but she seems to be, as Chara seems to be pretty go-lucky and happy all the time. While our Frisk, the Undertale one, seems to still have a backbone every time and worry about the gameplay. Now, this doesn't mean that US Chara doesn't have a conscience, certainly not. But it's certainly not as strong as her counterpart, who has a complete conscience every single time. Chara seems to have really big, so that means that this Frisk must have two. Now, I'm going to talk about her childhood, in my opinion. And the most makes sense is that she had a perfect family. A kind father and a loving mother. I don't know about her siblings. She had siblings, so I'm not going to count that. But there's one thing that separated her from normal perfect families. She lacked money. She was practically broke from all her life, which explained a lot about her character designs, as we'll see later. See, she seems to have messy hair, worn clothes, and often have bandages, probably because she was older, and this doesn't seem really good. Compare that to US Chara, which seems to be incredibly wealthy, having long hair that seems to be clean, neat clothes, and everything. Now and it's even shown in Undertale, where this Chara seems to be not that wealthy, while everything else is. They seem to be relatively wealthy in their shots. This explains a lot about US Frisk's personality, as she seems not to mind, and that she really didn't want to be this evil to begin with. What caused her to be this evil? What did? That is the question I am trying to answer, and I think I got it. Behold, my idea of what happened. She accidentally fell in the hole, by accident, mind you, since the other one was on purpose. She then landed in a monster realm, not knowing anything else. She didn't know, and she thought she would meet her family soon. So she decided to stay, acting being happy, and starting to make new friends, and being just, a kid, until she realized that she couldn't see her family anymore. She was trapped. Imagine that. You can't see your perfect little family, the one you love and care about. This soon drove her crazy, and she started being blinded by all sorts of stuff, by rage, sadness, and even being frightened. When she met this Chara, she soon used her as a backbone in order to get all the monsters back. As in her mind, they were the one who technically trapped her there, sent her away from her family. She didn't want to hurt them bad. She just wanted to hurt the pain she felt in order to get them away. In her mind, they trapped her here. She didn't know she was gonna go back, so she used this Chara in order to do it. And that's where I got the most infected. She didn't want to do this. She wasn't that happy. Okay, some of you are probably thinking, oh, so just end the video here. That's really sad, but why are you talking about? Well, because I have another theory. One theory that I swear a lot of you will disagree on until you hear the evidence. Chara is going to be a part of the Star Sanses. Yee! Okay, before y'all read in the comments. Yes, the Star Sanses, not a typo. The Star Sanses, the guardians of all positivity, the people who fought in the war against the bad guys. She's gonna join them. Why do you mean that? Why not the bad guys? She seemed to be more in her revengeous attitude. Well, because a girl named Spinel has a lot of similarities to her. If you haven't seen Steven Universe, please check her out. She's like my favorite. As you can see, she tried to get back on the people who trapped her. She acted all crazy. We didn't know why. Everyone just assumed she was a bad guy since they dealt with these like before. They didn't know what was coming. They didn't know a single clue until we reveal she was trapped by someone she cared about, someone she really loved, and they trapped her there for a long time. She wanted to get revenge on the people who trapped her there, so they would feel the same pain she did. She wanted to go back to her family. She wanted to go back to what she thought was her family, but instead she couldn't. She just wanted to go back and hurt the people who hurt her. But then she met someone and grew happy. This is what I think will happen. When the Star Scientists finally see her and know, they'll grow close, and she will finally, and U.S. Frisk will finally see the light of positivity, and will go back to being a happy kid. Hope y'all enjoy this. Bye, everyone.